If you wait until you're yelling or mean, you're not kind. Kids can live happily within structure if it means that mama's regulated and calm. I've been there. The house seems to spin around you. Clothes are everywhere. You swept the floor last night, so why are there tiny scraps of paper everywhere? Kids talking at the top of their lungs. Everyone seems to need something, all at the same time. And when you do manage to calm things down and seems like everything's under control, you escape to the bathroom for a tiny break and chaos erupts again, predictably. You know you might not be totally rational, but it seems like one more little mom, mom, mom might make your head explode. And when the toddler backhands the milk you just poured right onto the floor, your tears threaten to spill too. I've been there, Mama. You're not alone. Take a breath, take a moment, and let me give you some practical tips from this mom of 8. Real actionable ideas to bring peace to a mom who's overwhelmed. Number 1, simplify. Simplify everything. Simplify clothes. Kids do not need a lot of clothes. They need maybe a few pairs of pants, a few shirts, socks and underwear, and a dress or two. We are so used to having a whole wardrobe at our convenience, but the truth is, it's not necessary, and it makes life so much easier. Simplify your own wardrobe too. You don't have to be wearing something different every single day. Wear the same thing. Find something you like and wear it literally every day. The time for fanciness is not in the season of overwhelm. There's no need to be ashamed for dressing simply. You can throw it all in the wash it overnight, and wear it again the next day, and it's okay. Meals. Plan your meals. I used to be a big meal planner, and I would take a whole month, the calendar out every single day, a different meal, sides, desserts, and actually it was fun. It made grocery shopping exciting. There was no repetition. It was fun to search for recipes, but when you're in a time of overwhelm, that is not the time for that kind of approach. Later, I switched to a bi-weekly meal plan with themed nights, and now it is very simple. We eat the same breakfast every day, not the same breakfast every morning, but Mondays we have oatmeal, Tuesdays we have pancakes, Wednesdays we have eggs and toast, Thursdays we have oatmeal again. We know what we're making. I don't have to make that decision, and I don't have to worry. Grocery shopping is simplified. And when it comes to the nights, the same thing. Every Monday night, we eat the same meal. Every Tuesday night, we eat the same meal. There might be a few little variations depending on what's in stock, what's in store, if we've been to the store. And Sundays, we switch it up and have it fancy. And Saturdays are leftover days. But there is no shame in having the same meal every weekday, or every day for that matter. It is a practical and real way to cut down on the decision making, cut down on the trying to figure out what needs to be done and when to do it. Your kids don't need fancy. You don't need fancy. You need peace. And simplifying your meals is a huge way to do that. Simplify your routines. School routines, whether you're homeschooling or in other public or private school, whether it's bedtime or showering, simplify everything. Streamline everything you can. And cut out the extra fluff. There is a time for fun and extras. It's not forever. This simplifying is for now. Tip number 2, say no to be able to say yes. It's your life. It's not anyone else's life. It's not to convenience them. It's not to please them. It's not to make them look good or to simplify their life. You actually might need to pull back a little before you do this part and get a vision for how you want things to go. If that's so, you might want to check out my video about becoming the mom you've always wanted to be. It has some ideas about how to interweave who you are with being a good mom with making everything look the way you'd like it to look. When you're saying no to say yes, you're prioritizing the really important things. Relationships, health, rest, mental health. Put down those complicated menus or social engagements, the responsibilities that are you and that you want to do. This might not be the time for it. Put it down. Now the next part is pick 3 things that you want to say yes to. For me, that's my marriage, that's my kids' development and our relationships, and that's my own health. Those are my 3 top priorities. Everything else needs to run past those 3 before it gets a yes. Don't default to yes. Default to no when you're overwhelmed, so that you can, if you need to later, you can change to yes. But you have hit the parts that are important first without sacrificing them to things that might be urgent. Number 3 is to prioritize sleep and time outside. Now, sleep is absolutely crucial. Brain science shows that if you don't get enough sleep, your brain can't access this system called the glymphatic system, which is basically like a cleaning mechanism. It takes out the junk, cleans out the old, unused things, helps to solidify learning and memory. If you can't get into deep enough sleep to access that, it's like that garage that's just crammed so full of stuff. It has necessary stuff. You know it has useful stuff, but you also know there's a ton of junk in there, and it's all packed in so tightly you can't really navigate safely. Something's going to come crashing down and you can't get what you need. Does that sound like your brain on motherhood? Sometimes it does. A really important key to overcoming that is getting the sleep that you need. As moms, I think we can get into a habit of exhaustion where we're almost numb to it. We're just used to functioning on that level. But we forget that sleep actually is impacting our mental and our emotional and our physical well-being. We cannot bring ourselves to our capacity when we are lacking this key rest. You won't have patience. You won't have the ability to discern subtle and nuanced communication. You won't have the ability to perceive your own mental state and back off when you need to calm yourself down a little bit. All of those things are mediated by getting enough sleep. I know there have been times in my life when all of those things are true. I can't access that, but that's the definition of motherhood. Subtle, nuanced communication, observing body language, being patient with others, and knowing yourself. So this one is really, really important. Get enough sleep. When your toddler doesn't want to go down for their nap, you still put them down for their nap because you know they need it and you know it will be good for them. And they take their nap and they're happier later. Do the same thing for yourself. I know there are seasons when you have a newborn, you have sick kids, you have a project coming up or something that special that needs to be worked on. I understand. I get it. I really do. But just like you wouldn't let that continue to happen, you might let your toddler stay up because it's Christmas or because they have a special visit with their grandma, but you don't make that happen every day. You stop. You put them back to sleep when it's time for them to sleep so that they can grow, so they can be healthy, so they can be happy. Do the same thing for yourself. Give yourself that same love and care. Your toddler will thank you. You will thank me. It's actually an essential part of my masterclass on how not to be miserable at home. Grab it below for the bigger picture. The other thing to prioritize is getting outside. Something about leaving the 4 walls brings a whole new perspective, lets you pull back and see things from the bigger picture. It's even better if you can go for a walk or spend some time in a green space, a park or a countryside or even your backyard. Countless studies have proven what experience already tells us. Getting outside boosts your mood, resets your dopamine, and decreases our stress. Take those kids outside. Let them scream, let them yell. There's nothing to break. There are no walls to bounce off of. One of our favorite things is to go down the hill to where we have some big giant storm culverts. The kids love the scream therapy. They go in those culverts and they hit them with sticks and they scream and yell. They have so much fun. And then they come inside and we're fine. We don't need to scream inside anymore. We got it all out. Let them play or play with them. You get the peace, they get your presence. It's a win-win situation. Number 4, set higher boundaries. Build tighter fences. If you tolerate until you're yelling or mean, that's not kindness. That's not relaxed parenting. That's avoidance. No shame or blame. I have done that very thing myself. When you feel exhausted, it almost feels like you'd rather not engage until it is a crisis. But that doesn't help your overwhelm, your anxiety, or your stress go down. It makes it go up. and you become less trustworthy to your children. Bedtime with 5 kids under 7 by myself nearly broke me until I internalized this concept. Kids can handle structure. They can handle high expectations, especially if those expectations are clear. I'm generally a very relaxed and peaceful person, but when the circumstances were such that I was drowning in overwhelm, I found myself snapping. I knew I had to be more proactive earlier and enforce what in other seasons would be stricter than what I would require. Different seasons of life can require a different approach, and you may find this is a game changer for you. No, stricter or higher standards doesn't mean abusive, angry, or mean. As the psychologist Terry Real says, there's nothing harshness can achieve that loving firmness can't do better. The last tip, the ultimate one, practice self-discipline from a place of true love. Just like you put limits and requirements on your children, because you love them and to meet their need and to teach them, put limits and requirements on yourself. This is because you are worth it. This is because you are cherishing your own self. Flaws, struggles, all of it. You cannot truly love them if you aren't at least striving to love you, not indulge, love. Grab my free masterclass below for a roadmap out of overwhelm. You don't have to drown. You can find peace at home, even when it's hard.